everyone, welcome. So this is Low Sensory Seated Adaptive Yoga at MBS. I'm Audrey, my pronouns are she, her. And today we are going to honor the moon and look a little bit forward to the equinox, which is in 2 days. So whether you are in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, it's still a moment of change. So whether you're moving towards autumn, like I am in France, or whether you're moving to spring, it's still a lot of energy about, a lot of wind, a lot of change, a lot of things that we can look at and use for our own yoga practice. So let's start with a little bit of a sway, a little bit of movement, wherever you are, whether you are seated or lying down, or you're wheeling around, moving around, jumping around, just so that we can start to connect to our seats, as in sitting bone, the root of the spine, what in yoga they call the seats. And then, as I said, we're going to invoke and honor the energy of the moon. It was a super moon a couple of days ago. It's called the falling leaves moon, according to Ojibwe tradition. So Ojibwe is a First Nation tribe in now Canada. And so maybe you want to start making some shapes that resemble a circle. So you could raise your hand above your head. You could do some cycles with your eyes, with your head, with your shoulders. I'm giving loads of options. You don't have to do them all. Just maybe pick one for a while. Maybe with your hips. And if that's accessible to you, your toes. That's quite hard. Your feet, your legs, your wrists. Anything that brings some gentle movement, going at your own pace as usual. And we're just like invoking that shape of the big full moon. And in the same time, we're adding a little bit spaciousness into our body, especially our spine. I'm just going to go back to do some hips circles, making sure that you do one way and then the other way. And of course, if stillness is what you want right now, then please do this. That's, we'll join you in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna do some wrist circles. And maybe just one finger as well. Quite nice, actually. Never done this before. But I'm holding my wrist because I'm hypermobile and they hurt a lot. I was gonna swear. I stopped myself. This is being recorded, so. But yeah, but I do find that just holding it just means that I can still find some mobility, but with a bit more stability. So if that's you as well, maybe, ADS or even joint pain, that's what I do. And then maybe finishing your last movement. And then starting to settle. And finding some stillness in whichever shape you would like, whether you are seated or lying down. You could also still be moving in with any movements that will help you. But yeah, any other movement you'd like to do now so that we can settle into stillness for a few minutes together, knowing that you can come back to movement at any point. If you are lying down, maybe you're lying on your back, on the side, any side, on the belly. If you're seated, bringing some support for your spine and your head, maybe elevating the feet, maybe bringing a blanket, something to cover your eyes. Anything that will bring more comfort so that you can rest for a while. You could also go into child's pose, forward fold. Any options that feel supportive to you in this moment, knowing that you can change shape at any point during the practice. Maybe you start closing your eyes or finding a soft gaze. And starting to go inward a little bit more gently, softly, surrendering to the support of your seat or your bed, the floor, and ultimately the earth. And the earth will hold you during this whole practice, and of course she is always holding you, so that we can practice together safely, with stability. And noticing your breath, the natural rhythm of your breath, not trying to change anything at this point, just letting things be as they are. And so, as I said earlier, the full moon of creation happened on the 17th of September, on Tuesday. And its energy can be felt for a few days. And then it's Mabon, or the Equinox, on Sunday. And the energies are very similar to that full moon. So it's about abundance, gratitude, connecting to nature, connecting to change. And so I'll read a little text from Asha Frost, who's an indigenous healer. She's Ojibwe. And that's what she writes about the falling leaves moon. So this moon speaks to the leaves changing and turning the most vibrant of colors. An abundance of beauty surrounds us. The trees share teachings with us about the miracles that happen before our very eyes and remind us of the earth cycles. We too go through cycles daily, monthly, and yearly. And when we deepen into those cycles, we find peace. This moon reminds us that when we surrender, release, and let things die, we make room for glorious things to enter. So continue to notice your breath, to feel the support of your seat, the floor, the bed, the earth, and the moon. And give yourself permission to rest, to be for a moment in stillness and quiet, while the world is changing all around us. While we are changing as well. But for now, we are simply resting, simply being in Sangha, in community, simply being. And so one thing that may help when we go through all these cycles is to look back and see what's happened during this last cycle. So that means the summer, the last few months. And if there is anything in there that you would like to let go, to release. As Asha says, this moon reminds us that when we surrender, release, and let things die, we make room for glorious things to enter. So I invite you with each exhale to release, to let go, and let things die. Anything that doesn't serve you anymore, that lives in your body, mind, in your life, release it into the care of that full moon, so that the moon can look after it and recycle it into something new. So with each exhale, release, let go. It doesn't have to come up as a word, as a fully formed idea. It could be a sensation, it could be a sound, it could be a big sigh. Because your body mind knows, but sometimes the words don't come. So for a few minutes, all together, we release, we surrender, and we let things die. And you could even picture it as a leaf that's falling down. coming back to the soil to become new soil, nurturing the earth. So I'm going to create a little bit of silence for a couple of minutes for you to have this experience of release. If at any point it feels uncomfortable, anxious, maybe bring some gentle movement or not come back to your breath. Leave the contemplation question aside. And then maybe you can come back to it, or maybe just simply stay with your breath, your body sensations, your practice that you know how to do already. Right. Letting that go. Come back to simply noticing your breath for a little while. Maybe taking a few moments to add a little movement to your body before we move on to the next step. When you're ready, come back to stillness and quiet, your own version of stillness. And now, as Asha says, we are going to invite glorious things to enter. So with each inhale, invite something that you'd like more of in your life. That could be compassion, love, could be patience, contentment, be more time for rest, could be more ease, anything that you need, you feel you need for this next season. So with each inhale, maybe it's a word, maybe it's an energy, a sound, a color, an image. Asking for the support of the earth and the moon, all the trusted forces around us. Any glorious things that you could think of and invite in this moment for you. So we'll spend again a couple of minutes doing this in silence and stillness. Inhale, invite. Continuing with your focus on your inhale, maybe inviting now glorious things for your friends, your family, your loved ones, and the collective, the earth, all beings. Maybe so. Taking a moment to send some gratitude to the moon for listening to us. And also saying thanks to all who contributed to our happiness or joy or well-being this past cycle. And keeping that tension of gratitude, you may place your hand on top of each other, on top of your heart, or any other part of the body, or simply your attention, or in Anjali Mudra, where you pose. As a gesture of gratitude for the earth, for holding us, nurturing us, for the moon, for listening to us today, for all of nature, and all the indigenous stewards of this land who keep on protecting it so that we can live on this land. Gratitude for this community, for bringing us all together, all the wisdom, the laughter, the support. Gratitude for our body mind, as it allows us to be here, to practice, and to enter a new cycle. And gratitude to the sacred practices of yoga indigenous to South Asia, and all our teachers, teachers, and practitioners before us who have protected these practices so that we can still benefit from them today. Again, if you'd like to share the merit of this practice with a being, a group of being, a cause, a land, then please do send this intention. And to seal this intention, I'll offer a blessing of metta, loving kindness, which you may join or listen, and you may also adapt to however you want. May all beings everywhere, with no limits, including ourselves, be happy, be well, be at ease, and be at peace. May all beings be free and liberated. Bringing back some gentle movement to the body, starting to come back into your space, picking the eyes open, welcoming back the light. Taking your own time,